Hi, my name is Jon Markson. I'm a producer and engineer and mixer for bands like Drug Church, Drain, Brother Tiger, Sam I Am, and I'm here at Alto Music in Middletown, New York, and this is my gear story. Growing up, being into heavy guitar music, there were a lot of the usual suspects of amps that people were into or like to play on and like to play heavy riffs on. Your Marshall JCM800s, your dual Rex and triple Rex, your 5150s, your Soldanos. But one of my favorite amps of all time for heavy music is the Roland Jazz Chorus series of amps, particularly the JC120. I had heard these amps growing up and didn't really think that they were a viable option for that kind of stuff, mostly because, the distortion knob on it sounds like garbage in most scenarios. And they really seemed more of like a clean, The Cure, 80s kind of sound, clean sound because of the built-in chorus and vibrato circuits. And when I was working with the band Drug Church, we were all still mostly, on the first record, on the Cheer record, we were still mostly using Marshalls, heavier tube amps to generate a lot of the tone. But around that time, the guitar player Nick, one of my best friends, got really into using jazz choruses for the heavy tones. So we still mostly were using Marshall, but at some point in time we needed to add some leads, we needed to add some more texture. We brought this thing out, turned the bass in the middle up to 10, cranked on a Tube Screamer and a Rat, and this has, to this day, been one of my most used amps when I'm layering guitar tones and I'm trying to get more movement, texture, and something that sits outside of the same box that we come to expect with high gain or crunchy guitar tones. And the things that I love most about this thing are the fact that in our world, music, recording, chorus is such a cool and emotionally manipulative sound, That sound of two sounds that are very close to each other, rubbing against each other and creating space and width is among the coolest psychoacoustic things you can do. And usually that stuff happens in either the digital or analog domain with pedals. But the coolest thing about the jazz chorus is obviously that circuit is happening, a similar circuit that you'd find in any other chorus line level device, but the representation of that chorus is happening in the acoustic domain, because when you stick the chorus or the vibrato on, one of the speakers starts to chorus against the other one. And when you're in the room with that, and particularly when you put microphones right up to that, it is one of the most unique, cool, and head-swimming and spinning sounds that you can get in guitar music. I love it for that aforementioned 80s Cure, really clean guitar tone stuff, and I love it for heavy tones as well. I'm Jon Markson, and this was my gear story, and I'm sticking to it.